Outlaws of Thunder Junction has given Legacy a functional reprint of Memory Jar, a card that is banned, and today we're going to be playing Memory Vessel in Mono Red Storm. Let's go check it out. This is the deck that we'll be playing today, and it's all based around Memory Vessel, the new Memory Jar. Well, Memory Jar is a little bit different. Well, for starters, it costs 5 colorless. Here we have 3 red. Memory Jar actually draws cards. Okay, and then the hand that you have goes into a separate pile. With Memory Vessel, you just can't play cards in your hand. Okay, and the cards that you would draw are actually in exile, and then you could play those cards until end of turn. They're not actually in your hand, which means that they get around things like Narset or Orcish Bowmasters, since you're not actually drawing cards. And if you look at a deck like the Epic Gamble with Echo of Aeons, you do actually draw cards in that deck, and it's a little bit weak to Orcish Bowmasters, Leovold, Narset, things like that. Not with Memory Vessel. Okay, well, with Memory Jar, it goes to the graveyard afterwards. You sacrifice it, which means that you can use things like Goblin Welder to bring it back. Memory Vessel exiles itself, so you're unable to do that. So it's not a strict one-for-one reprinting of Memory Jar, but it's pretty darn close, and I'm excited to play it today in this Mono Red Storm deck. So the idea is that we're going to use Defense Grid to protect ourselves from our opponent's brand new hand. And by the way, your opponent gets those cards until their end step as well. So with Memory Jar, at the end of your turn, both players would discard their hand. Well, they do get one full turn with Memory Vessel, which is, not ideal, but at least with Defense Grid, you could protect yourselves from their, interaction, and then hopefully you can win the game. We're also playing Elemental Eruption, also from Outlaws of Thunder Junction today, and the idea is that we're looking to turbo into it using Rite of Flame, and then today, unlike Ruby Storm, we're playing Mox Opal, Chrome Mox, Lion's Eye Diamond, all the broken cards, and we're accelerating into Namesticker Goblin and Seething Song to cast Memory Vessel in this Elemental Eruption. That's the idea behind the deck. This deck's a lot more explosive. It's not a budget option. This is pedal to the metal, Mono Red Storm and Legacy. I hope you enjoy it, and if you do, like, comment, subscribe, but that's all I've got for now. I want to play some Legacy. I'm sure you want to watch some Legacy, and I'll see you in the first round. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswarm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicswarm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We've won the die roll and we're on the play. Okay, so we have turn 1 Defense Grid into turn 2 Birgi Lion's Eye Diamond. I think that this is worth keeping. Alright, we'll play City of Traders and Defense Grid. That resolves, good to see, and now we'll pass the turn. I believe that like Rite of Flame or another Lion's Eye Diamond would be our best draw. I'd also take like a Seething Song or a Namesticker Goblin. Looted Delta. And they're passing by the looks of it. Another Defense Grid. Okay, well, we'll play another one, I guess. And I think I'm going to pass here and not play the land. So I don't want to do like a mini setup. I kind of just want to go all in one turn. So I'm going to sit still. They cycle a Troll of Khazad-dûm. So we are likely facing the Dimir scam deck. They play the second copy of Underground Sea. Main phase Orcish Bowmasters. I do not care about that. Come on, Seething Song. I'll take a Mox Opal. Alright, so we'll add 2 colorless. Let's play the Mountain. And now we'll play Birgi, God of Storytelling. Lion's Eye Diamond. We get a red mana from Birgi. We'll play Mox Opal. And now I'm going to hold control, and we will cast Burning Wish. In response, we're going to make 3 red, discarding another Burning Wish. And I believe we're going to grab Reforge the Soul here. We're 1 mana short of Elemental Eruption. Well, I guess Reforge the Soul, I'd lose my Birgi. Maybe that's not the move. Does 10 Goblins beat Orcish Bowmasters? Probably. I could also just Galvanic Relay for 5. I feel like I might like that more than Empty the Warrens, because if they put a Troxit into play, Empty loses. So let's try Galvanic Relay for 5. That looks pretty good. We have a nice memory vessel in there, tons of mana. So one thing you might be thinking about when it comes to this deck, you might be saying, Bryant, this is the perfect deck for Simian Spirit Guide. Why are you not playing it? And the answer is actually pretty obvious. So memory vessel, you exile the top 7. You can't exile Simian Spirit Guide if it's already in exile. So it doesn't actually work that well with memory vessel. But what does work really well with it is Lion's Eye Diamond, which means that this card is essentially Black Lotus with cards in exile. So you have Galvanic Relay, you have the back half of Birgi, Arnfell, Horn of Bounty, that you can play cards from exile, and then you have Memory Vessel. So this might be one of the better Lion's Eye Diamond decks in Legacy. Opponent plays a Ponder, a very fast shuffle, and Entomb. So it looks like I made the correct decision not going for Goblins, but instead deciding to Galvanic Relay. Archon of Cruelty. Okay, sure. Lotus Petal. We'll play the Ancient Tomb, play Lotus Petal, and this Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond, play a Rite of Flame, and this should give us the mana to play the Memory Vessel. Okay, now let's activate the Memory Vessel, and we can play the top 7 cards of our deck through Orcish Bowmasters. We found Elemental Eruption, and another Galvanic Relay. So let's play some cards here. Seething Song, all the red mana in the world, Mox Opal. I should probably not waste time tapping Mox Opal. I already have enough mana where I'm not going to use all the mana in my pool, so it just doesn't matter. We'll play a Chrome Mox, no imprint. Let's Elemental Eruption. Sweet. 11 dragons? Love to see it. I don't think Archon of Cruelty is going to be an entire horde of dragons. This reminds me of the first thing that I played that was nerdy as a kid was my first computer was a 1998 Gateway Astro PC. And it came with Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Complete. And in that game, when you had a certain amount of creatures, it would change the level. You would go from few to lots. There was a couple in between, but eventually when you had the most of something, it was called a horde. And a horde of your final creature, which some of them were like red dragons, was always like 12 or more. And I mean, we have a horde of dragons here. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, opponent immediately concedes to a horde of dragons. Perfect. Okay. I recorded Vintage last, so I'm going to swap this back over to card view. It's just the view that I prefer. Okay, so we could bring in Leyline. I mean, if we're not bringing it in versus Scaminator, why are we playing it, probably? I think I want the defense grid still. Maybe take out Namesticker Goblin? Or take out the Birgi because it makes less mana and it needs to live. That might be the move. Yeah, let's try this. I know it's crazy siding out Birgi. It also means that our deck is pretty low on action. You have 14 action spells. I think it just needs to be Namesticker Goblin. Very good hand. Keep. Leyline of the Void. Grief, Exiling, Animate Dead. So they could take my Birgi and then reanimate my Birgi. They take Defense Grid. Looted Delta. Another Birgi. Play City of Traders, Lotus Petal. Let's try the God of Storytelling. She resolved. That's a good sign. Opponent searches out Underground Sea and is now doing what? Dismember. Okay. They reanimate my Birgi. That's not right. Chrome Mox was a good draw here. So, fun fact, Memory Vessel is an artifact. You cannot imprint it to Chrome Mox. Same thing with Wishclaw Talisman. It does not work that way. We will play Birgi. Opponent has 3 cards in their hand. It's a mirror match. They Brainstorm, making a red mana. So, Rite of Flame would be a draw that allows us to play Memory Vessel, so that's a card we're interested in. Mox Opal doesn't do it. Seething Song would. Lotus Petal would do it. And they're going to attack. Bold. They're at 12. I'm not blocking. Grief, Exiling, Reanimate. So they're going to hit my Memory Vessel here, unfortunately. Wasteland. Okay, so I was never playing that Memory Vessel. And we drew another. Okay. We're pretty far away from making good use of it, but in the meantime, let's attack. Land number 2. And they don't attack. Well, we have Seething Song. If we could draw like an Ancient Tomb, we'll pass back. Okay. Ah, jeez. Pass the turn. Rite of Flame would do it. Rite of Flame, Ancient Tomb, something along those lines. Pass again. They have land number 3. We can't do anything. We just have to keep on sending it back. One more draw, and we're 25% of the way through our deck. 3 relays in a row. Yikes. They have Petty Theft on my Ley Line of the Void. And it looks like they're still just going to pass back. Crow Mox, finally! We drew something that has text on it. Alright, trigger Burgie. Going to imprint the other Burgie. And we'll play Seething Song. Force of Negation. Okay, we are forced to pass the turn. City of Traders. I guess we can Galvanic Relay for 1. It's a little sad, but it's what we can do here. We reveal a basic mountain. On our end step, the opponent flashes in Brazen Borrower. They attack for 3. I will fall to 14. They still have 5 cards in hand. Entomb. So now they can go get the Archon of Cruelty or Atraxa. Archon of Cruelty would make me sacrifice my Burgie, and that's what they grab. Animate Dead. I have to sacrifice Burgie, unfortunately. I think we took too long this game to draw additional mana sources, and now we're toast. Memory Vessel. And they have the Force of Will. Alright, so we lost game number 2. I'm going to resubmit. Game number 2 on the play. Or, sorry, game number 3 on the play. I think we try this. Keep. City of Traders. Lotus Petal. Burgie, God of Storytelling. Crow Mox will trigger the Burgie and make a red. No imprint. Play Rite of Flame. And now we'll Burning Wish. Brings us up to 2 red. We'll say yes. We'll go grab the sideboard copy of Galvanic Relay. Play this Crow Mox. No imprint trigger. And then Galvanic Relay for 7. Okay, well that worked out well. We have some pretty good cards in exile too. Wasteland. Okay. Another Burgie. Let's start on the Lions Eye Diamond. We do want this one to resolve. Play Crow Mox. We'll imprint the Burgie that we drew. Make 5 red mana. So we could take the Guaranteed Dragons here. Or I can try to Memory Vessel. And I think I'd rather try to Memory Vessel. 3 dragons is not that impressive. Let's exile the top 7. That was actually terrible. Holy moly. I don't even know what to do at this point. There's no mana here. View our sideboard. Yeah, I'm not actually sure what the move is. Play Ancient Tomb. That's only 4 mana. I guess I'll play Defense Grid. Hope that they didn't draw a Force. They didn't, so that's good. And now we'll play Burning Wish. And I only have 2 mana, so there's not a lot I can actually do here. I think we're supposed to grab Reforge the Soul. So the problem is, like, why did our opponent keep a hand without Force of Will, right? Like, they kept a hand that did nothing. So I'm guessing that they have Grief in it. So whatever I get here is going to be discarded by Grief. So I'm kind of tempted to take Grape Shot, hit them for 6, attack them with Burgie, and all of a sudden they're at 11. Yeah, I'm going to take Grape Shot, I think. I know it's a little bit of a crazy pick here, but... Oh, I can't cast it! I forgot about the clause on Memory Vessel. That was silly. Whoops. That was real silly. I won't be making that mistake again. Blue Elemental Blast. Okay. And now they're going to clean up. Discards a Troll of Khazad-dûm. Guess I'll play Lion's Eye. Maybe I'm supposed to hold that. I don't even know anymore. Pass the turn. I hope I didn't throw this game by getting Grape Shot. I think the pivotal point in this game was me deciding to play Memory Vessel instead of getting 3 dragons. But I'm not sure if 3 dragons beats an Archon of Cruelty or Atraxa. So that's why I didn't do it. But then obviously our Memory Vessel top 7 cards, there was nothing there. We're a 10-land deck and we exiled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. So half the lands in our deck were in the top 7. Here is an Entomb. They select Archon of Cruelty again. So this was in their original hand. This is not from the Memory Vessel. So our opponent did have a fast Archon of Cruelty. Okay. Mox Opal. So we now have a grand total of 7 mana. So if I draw a Burning Wish, I could play Reforge the Soul. We have 2 Burning Wishes left in our deck, so it's not incredibly likely. Wasteland hurts. And Engineer Explosives for 0. That's going to do it here. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, they also have the Explosives for the Dragons. Maybe there's just no winning here. We're 0-1 to start off this Legacy League, but I'm sure we're going to get some wins. Stick around and watch them. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 2, we're on the draw, and we've opened up a hand with no payoff spells, so we're going to send this one back. Alright, well, womp womp, same problem. We'll go to 5. This one has no red mana, but if you do draw a red mana, you have a Memory Vessel. I think it's probably gives us better odds than going all the way down to 4 cards, so we're going to keep begrudgingly. Polluted Delta, and they're passing. Defense grid isn't terrible. We'll play it. Hey, resolved. I would like to draw 1 red mana, please. And they're cycling a Troll of Khazad-dûm. How boring. Back-to-back Dimir Scaminator. Underground Sea. And Reanimate. Come on, deck. Please give me a mountain. Hey, alright. Let's party. We'll begin by playing Namesticker Goblin. If we roll a 6, which is perfect, I could play Birgi into Seething Song. 5. So close. We'll play Seething Song and Memory Vessel. I mean, I could just pass. I just took a quick look at MTG Goldfish. A lot of lists are on 2 to 3 main deck copies of Brazen Borrower. I don't think I want to pass. We're going to activate this Memory Vessel. 2 mana floating. Okay, so we can play the Rite of Flame. This brings us up to 3. Mox Opal would be 4, Chromox is 5. So I'm 1 short of playing the Elemental Eruption. So I'm going to play Birgi here. And then we'll play Mox Opal. Trigger the Birgi. We'll play Chromox. And we'll exile the one in our hand. With the 2 mana floating, I will cast Burning Wish. Storm 8. Yes. And now we'll grab a Galvanic Relay. Oh, what? I keep on forgetting that I can't play the card off of Burning Wish. I'm a real dummy. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. It literally just happened in match number 1. I will learn at some point, I promise. Can't take me anywhere. It's also possible that maybe you're not supposed to play Burning Wish in this deck. I didn't even consider that friction when I was building it, but it's come up twice now and I keep on forgetting about it. Our opponent plays a Wasteland. They're getting in there. Okay, so we will fall to 10 life. They Wasteland the Ancient Tomb. No blocks. Drown in the Lock-on Birgi. Things are not looking good for the home team here. Seething Song will attack for 2. I misclicked. I accidentally hit 2 instead of 1. I was going to Galvanic Relay for 1 there. That's my bad. And now this Galvanic Relay's dead. Because I'll be dead before I see the card off of it. They play Scrubland. So they're on the White Splash for Pest Control. Yeah, we were just 1 mana short this game. Both on playing Birgi pre Memory Vessel, but also post Memory Vessel for the Elemental Eruption. They play Grief. They took the Galvanic Relay. Maybe it doesn't matter because they're just going to bring it back. And Pest Control, so we're out of it. Pest Control also happens to be very good against Elemental Eruption. We would have found another Galvanic Relay, so my mistake did not end up mattering, but I shouldn't have made it to begin with. Okay, so tough matchup because they're on the build that's even better against us. We'll bring in Leyline of the Void. And I think this time, knowing that our opponent is on Pest Control, I'm going to try to cut Mox Opals. Let's give this a go. Let's try that again. Sure, we'll keep. Leyline of the Void. City of Traders, Defense Grid. They force a will, exiling Drown in the Lock. Pass the turn. Looted Delta. They have 5 cards left in hand. Ponder. They kept off the Ponder. That's scary. Elemental Eruption. I mean, you have to be incredibly lucky to roll a 6 off of the Name Sticker Goblin and for your opponent to not have the Pest Control. We'll play Chrome Mox. I think you're supposed to imprint the Elemental Eruption. Because if you roll a 6, you can still Burning Wish and empty the Warrens. We'll play Name Sticker Goblin. Triggers. We roll a 4. And that actually does nothing. I can't even Galvanic Relay. I need to pass the turn. And they just Polluted Delta pass. Memory Vessel. Okay. Swing, swing. Our opponent picks up an Undercity Sewers. And Brainstorm. Grief, Exiling, Reanimate. They have 4 cards remaining in hand. They take the Memory Vessel. Underground Sea. So no shuffle effect yet for the Brainstorm. Lotus Petal. That still doesn't allow me to Galvanic Relay. Swing for 2. Okay, looks like they're drawing through their Brainstorm. Energy Flux. Okay. We'll pay for our Chrome Mox here. We draw a Mountain. Stack for 2. Another Brainstorm. They kill our Name Sticker Goblin. Big fan of that. And Ponder. Still 2 cards remain in their hand. Tundra. Will continue to pay. Seething Song. So I could go all in and Galvanic Relay, but I lose to a Daze or literally anything. We'll pass. Dothy Voidwalker. That's fine. Pay for the Chrome Mox again. Burgie. Okay, next turn I'm going to try something. I don't think it's... I'm going to let the Chrome Mox die next turn. We'll take 3 going down to 17. Uh-oh, 4 mana for a Hardcast Grief. They take the Burning Wish. I will not pay for Chrome Mox. Let's draw. Another diamond. Okay, let's tap that for mana. Play Lion's Eye Diamond so that way I can play through a Daze. Seething Song. I guess it doesn't play through Daze on Seething Song. And then we'll play Harnfell Horn of Bounty. Discard Chrome Mox. Leyline of the Void, Rite of Flame. Perfect. Alright, it's all up to you, Lotus Petal. Discard Galvanic Relay. We will make 3 red. Rite of Flame. Seething Song. And Galvanic Relay for 6. We're going to be losing the Harnfell to the Energy Flux. So these 6 cards pretty much have to be perfect. And they were not perfect. So I believe we've lost this. They attack for 6. I will fall to 11. We must sacrifice the Harnfell Horn of Bounty. And then we'll draw for turn. Burning Wish. We just don't have enough mana to do anything here. I can play Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Chrome Mox. That's 5 mana. Yeah, I mean, we just lost. Alright, not the way I wanted to start off this league. We are 0-2.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
Let's try to get a win. We're on the play for the 3rd match. No red mana. We have to send it back. Okay, so I think you're supposed to bottom Lion's Eye Diamond. So if we play City of Traders Lotus Petal, I think it means that any imprintable next current turn could give us Memory Vessel. So let's play the Burgie. And then we'll pass the turn. Force of Will. What is with all these blue decks? I'm just out here trying to have fun. Misty Rainforest. No way. Come on. Oh, I'm good to go to the next one. Oh, geez. What are these legacy leaks tonight? Holy moly. Sure, whatever. Board out Mox Opals again. The last legacy video I recorded, I played, what was it? Oh, it was the Lava Spur Boots video. And my whole plan was to showcase how great it is in all these fair matchups. And I'm pretty sure it was 4 combo decks in a row followed by a prison deck. Or no, it was Moon Stompy or Goblin Stompy, whatever you would like to call it. And it was just like the worst showing for Lava Spur Boots. And here we're playing this like fringe, pretty easily disrupted mono red deck. And we get paired into like the boogeyman of the format with Daze, Force of Will, Grief, Force of Negation, all these disruptive elements versus our deck that's pretty much a glass cannon. So things are not going well. Game number 2 on the play. I mean, we'll try it. Leyline of the Void. I'm going to choose to not play Defense Grid on the first turn because I want to try to get our City of Traders to stick around for a while. Tropical Island. Grief, Exiling Grief. Well, there goes our Defense Grid. They do discard the Defense Grid. Name Sticker Goblin. I'm going to try Burgi. They Brainstorm in response. So it's their turn, Burgi is resolved. And I was just thinking about the Burning Wish memory vessel problem. I think I know the fix. So instead of running Burning Wish, you can just play the card Wish itself. It costs 1 more mana, but you wouldn't run into the problem of putting the card to your hand and not being able to play it. So I think Burning Wish should actually just be Wish. Alright, we'll attack and pass. Swing. And a Ponder. Another Burgi. Attack. They pick up an Undercity Sewers. They play Bayou and pass. I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do other than just attack with the Burgi. Hope that she goes the distance. Another Wasteland. Sure. Hardcast Grief. Yep. They take the Name Sticker Goblin. Chrome Mox. Let's play it. They Force of Will Chrome Mox, exiling a Stifle. Okay. Play Defense Grid. Pass the turn. And now they pass back. They still have 3 cards. Another Name Sticker Goblin. They play a basic island. Still no attacks. Leyline of the Void. Yep. Underground Sea. Still 3 cards. Galvanic Relay. We will pass. All we want is mana. They play Brainstorm. Another Wasteland. Force of Vigor. Well, that wasn't very nice. Rite of Flame. So what are the odds our opponent's last 2 cards in hand do absolutely nothing? Rite of Flame. Let's try a Name Sticker Goblin. This is a bit of wishful thinking, but let's try it. They could not Force of Will fast enough. We will pass the turn. They have 1 random card in hand. Chrome Mox. Rite of Flame's also very good. So this would make 4 mana. Burning Wish. Okay, so I can Galvanic Relay out of the sideboard. You drew another counter spell? Sheesh. Okay. Pass. So I get 1 use out of this Ancient Tomb. I don't think I'm supposed to play it quite yet. Or I could offer the trade and play Burgi and then hope that the second Burgi wins. Maybe that's the move here. Show them who the real beatdown deck is. Let's get in there. Alright, Burgi trades with the Grief. Ancient Tomb. Ouch. Burgi got a Storytelling, and if you drew a hard counter for Burgi, I will cry. They destroy Ancient Tomb, that's to be expected. And they drew Reanimate. Ah. Okay. Lion's Eye Diamond might be an interesting draw here because I think that's lethal or close to lethal. They're at 4. Okay. If they drew a nut, like, it has to be exactly their last card here because I can empty the Warrens. Lion's Eye Diamond. We're 1 storm short of Grape Shot being... Oh no, we have Tendrils in the sideboard. And then we'll add 3 block. Hey, we got a game. Okay, now just to get game number 3. So we saw that our opponent isn't really that much of a Scaminator deck. Like, yes, they have Grief Reanimate, but the Leyline did not do a whole lot. That game, I think I'm going to try just submitting our 75 again. Unboarding. We will try it. They play Underground Sea and pass the turn. Name Sticker Goblin. Let's try Defense Grid. It is countered. They exile a Baleful Strix. They're on 3 cards. Next turn, we'll try another one. Brutal. Okay. I think we'll just pass. Burning the Rite of Flame to get Defense Grid in play doesn't really help us that much. They play a Bayou. Let's see a land here, please. Nope. Instead, they cycle a Troll of Khazad-dûm. They pick up an Undercity Sewers. And they pass. 3 cards still in hand. Ay. Alright, Rite of Flame. They tap the mana and then let it go. Defense Grid. And we'll pass. Another Wasteland. We just can't do anything. We have to pass back. They play Polluted Delta and do the same. Lotus Petal. I think I need to pretend that I don't have anything, and I'm just going to discard Burgi here. Hopefully they tap out for something, and then we can punish them if I draw mana. That's a Brainstorm. They pass back, and we draw. It's not mana. Sheesh. Discard Galvanic Relay. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. So this is the sort of window that we're looking for. They don't play a land, and then we draw mana, and then I can go off. Come on, deck. Pretty please. Give me a land. Give me mana. Let's see it. There we go. Beautiful. Play the Lotus Petal. And Name Sticker Goblin. There's a Defense Grid in play. You can't play Force of Will. Nice try, though. Yeah, the Name Sticker Goblin will resolve. Makes 5 mana. We'll play Seething Song. Seething Song again. Galvanic Relay. So next turn we'll get 5 cards. And then Elemental Eruption for 6 dragons. Double black, 3 black, Force of Despair. Not good enough here. We got a match! Look at that. We're 1 and 2. There's still 2 matches left to go. Hopefully we win those as well. You're still watching. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4, we're on the draw, and I cannot keep this. We can try this, though. Keep, and we'll bottom 1 copy of Burgi, God of Storytelling. Misty Rainforest. Come on, search for a basic forest. Rite of Flame. We'll imprint Galvanic Relay. Let's try Burgi. That resolved. Hedge Maze. Are you on Rhinos? Is that what this is? I'm trying to think of decks that would play Hedge Maze. But I guess Rhinos doesn't play Verdant Catacombs. Underground Sea. City of Traders. Let's try Rite of Flame. We'll play the city. And let's try Memory Vessel. Memory Vessel? That resolved. Seething Song? Alright, we have 6 mana. Activate the Memory Vessel. We found the Elemental Eruption. Hopefully that's good enough to steal a game win here. Dress down. Don't care about that. Rite of Flame. Play out a Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Try another Mox Opal. And a Horde of Dragons. Oh, that's weird. It skipped through my attack step. Okay, that was a little bit odd. They concede anyway. Sweet. Resubmit. Game 2 on the draw. We have an explosive hand, but no red mana. This Mox Opal is not active. We should send it back. Okay, rather than go to 5, I'm going to keep this sketchy hand. We'll bottom a Name Sticker Goblin. It always feels a little odd when I play decks that don't play Echo Vans, because I want to mulligan aggressively. I'm just not allowed to. Play Mountain Pass. Throw Mox. We'll send it back. Hedge Maze is back again. Tundra. So are you just 4-color control? The Fairy Time Raveler. Okay. They draw a card. Let's see an Elemental Eruption. Or a Mox Opal. Pass. We draw City of Traders. Doesn't do a whole lot. We'll play it and pass, or else we have to discard. They ponder. Does not shuffle. There we go, finally. Let's start with Rite of Flame. Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Mox Opal. Mox Opal. So we have 3, 6. Alright, I should not play the Name Sticker Goblin, because if something happens to it, it would actually cut me off of Elemental Eruption.
Alright. Elemental Eruption. I wish these dragons had flying in haste instead of prowess. Blue Elemental Blast, you've got it. They search out Tropical Island. Or cast a Force of Negation. There's still 5 more to go. What are you going to do? That's 20 power right here. Force of Will. Pitching Force of Negation. I mean, that's 16 power, and if I play the Name Sticker Goblin, you're dead. Ponder. Elemental Eruption is so good. They pump the Teferi up. Goes up to 3 loyalty. Murktide Regent. So right now they can live through a hit. I need to draw a spell. Is this a spell? I'm pretty sure it is. Name Sticker Goblin. Oh, I guess for some reason it's non-creature. Okay. I guess I'll play Harnfell. This will pump up the dragons. And when they block, they'll go to 2 life. So I guess I could have just gone Harnfell, discard Name Sticker Goblin, and hope to hit. Would have been a better line. Swing. So you might be saying, why not attack Teferi? That gets a little messy, because then, like, are you sending 2 dragons at them and 2 at Teferi? It's just really messy. So I don't want to make that play. And then they ate a dragon. They have 1 card left in hand. They're at 7. They can minus Teferi here, and then bounce another dragon. And they're pretty close to stabilizing. They did not shuffle off Ponder. Maybe they did stabilize. Holy moly. They have 3 cards in hand now. They play a land. Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's discard it to the Harnfell. Seething Song Mox Opal. So that turns it into a 6/6 dragon. Just not good enough here. I think we have to pass. Another Leyline Binding. And they go after the Harnfell. Crazy. Our 7 dragons looking like they may not get there now. Brainstorm. They have 2 cards. Rite of Flame will pass. Swords to Plowshares. Name Sticker Goblin holding down the fort. Still not attacking. Maybe we'll hold the defense grid. They play a land. Still 2 cards. Another defense grid. Sure, I guess if I draw Burning Wish, this could save me. By not letting them know what is in my hand. Mystic Sanctuary. Picks up Blue Elemental Blast. That makes their Murktide Regent into a 9/9. So we now know that they're about to draw a hard counter. They kill the Goblin. And now they can start being the beatdown. I go to 15. Burning Wish. No. Okay, so my time is running out here. I'm about to be at 6. Let's see it. There it is. Okay, let's try Defense Grid. Hardcast Force of Will. Play Ancient Tomb. City of Traders will sacrifice. I'll go to 4. Defense Grid. That resolved. Rite of Flame. Burning Wish holding priority. We'll sacrifice Lion's Eye Diamond for 3 black. Grab Tendrils of Agony. Cast it. We just got another match. The dragons lowered the life total enough for Tendrils to finish it off. Our opponent trying to cast spells through Defense Grid. 2 opponents in a row, forgetting how Defense Grid works. 2-2. One final match left to go. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The final round, we're on the draw and we've opened up a hand that is not keepable, sending it back. Okay, so we have 4 mana off Rite of Flame, Name Sticker Goblin. I think we keep this in bottom Galvanic Relay. Our opponent is on a mulligan to 5. Vault of Whispers. Okay, so finally not a blue deck, but likely getting hit by a discard spell here. Mox Opal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Dark Ritual. If it's Beseech, we're just dead. Echo of Aeons. This is what I get for not winning the die roll. Flashback Echo. I mean, this is not a bad hand. I don't know if we'll get a turn, but it's not a bad hand. Entomb, so now they're able to go grab another copy of Echo of Aeons. And now they have 3 mana floating. This hand is bad. They play a pair of Lotus Petals, a Lion's Eye Diamond, another Echo of Aeons. Sure. Chrome Mox. So if their hand doesn't do anything, I guess we could Galvanic Relay and Tomb. So you know that they have the win because there was one more Echo, and they grab Beseech Dimir. And here is the Tendrils of Agony. Bummer. Okay, so we will concede. We'll bring in Leyline of the Void and take out Defense Grid. Submit. Game number 2, we're on the play. Nope. Sending it back. I guess so. Keep. We'll bottom 1 Leyline of the Void. And then we'll put the other onto the battlefield. They have their own Leyline. Well, we're not a deck that uses the graveyard, so that's okay. But I guess they could have the Helm of Obedience combo in, and that would be a way to beat me through my own Leyline of the Void. They Thoughtseize me, and they can see that my hand doesn't really do a whole lot. Come on, Namesticker Goblin. Or Leyline of the Void. Equally as good, right? We'll pass. There's a Saga. Cabal Therapy. They take my Rite of Flame. Ancient Tomb, okay. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll draw like Mana Source into Memory Vessel, and then we're off to the races. Vault of Whispers. They still have 4 cards. We're dead to Dark Ritual, Beseech Dimir. Thoughtseize. Okay. Galvanic Relay. This is sad. Galvanic Relay for Uno. It was a basic mountain. End step, they play Dark Ritual, activate Urza's Saga. And now Saga goes to the 3rd chapter. They can create another construct token, go get the Lava Spur Boots, equip the Lava Spur Boots to the construct token, and then attack me for a lot of damage. Instead, they grab Mox Opal. So this is 4 coming in. I'll drop to 14. Seething Song. We needed that to be Memory Vessel. Things are not looking good for us now. This is an attack for 8. I will be at 6. Come on, duck. It's not going to do it. Unfortunate. So after starting off really poorly, we started to make a comeback, but we didn't pull it off. So we got the 2-3. What are my thoughts on this deck list? One, I don't like truly any Storm deck in the format that isn't playing Echo of Aeons. I think it really limits your ability to do well. You're in a format with Grief and tons of discard, Force of Will. Being able to recover so easily is really nice, but also just the ability to mulligan with a strong game plan is really nice, and you can't do that if you're not playing Echo of Aeons. So I think maybe this deck wants to be an Echo of Aeons deck, but there's some friction with Memory Vessel, because with Memory Vessel, you can't play cards from hand. That was the problem with Burning Wish. So the card Wish from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms would be a card to think about over Burning Wish. I'm not sure if it's right or not, but it's just something to consider. Memory Vessel seemed decent to me. It was my fault that the card looked less than stellar. I made some interesting deck building choices, aka the Burning Wish. But I think that there's something there. Like, this card not drawing cards into Orcish Bowmasters is really good. Defense Grid seemed, decent. It's just, I don't know. Combo decks are not good against blue-black Scaminator strategies, and we faced it a lot. So you win some, you lose some, it happens. But hopefully you enjoyed Memory Vessel. You got something entertaining out of this video, and I really do appreciate you watching. So thank you. I hope you have a great day, and as always, keep storming. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested, you can visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel. You can even join me in a video in the Epic tier. It's totally worth it, I promise. And see ya. Thanks for watching.